points for number 12, Bickett Witch. And scoring the most points for the Killer Crew, that was number 314, Heckler, with 23 points, including a 19-point power jam. How about the Bruisers?
A different story for the Bruisers, of course, because they are in the driver's seat. Belfast, with a score of 28 all told from her respective jams. 13 points for Haley Copter. 4-point pickup there for Tyrannosaurus Rex. But the big story, I'll let you reveal this one.
Yeah, that's Getcha Kicks having a real breakout game with the Bruisers. I mean, she's always a tough competitor out there, but picking up 60 points in the first half, including a 21-point power jam and a 26-point natural scoring, 6 scoring passes. That was when Bickett Witch was being held by the Bruisers. So picking up the highest two scoring jams of the game and 60 points, currently outscoring Killer Crew on her own, Slim.
As mentioned previously, Getcha Kicks, a transfer skater from an across-town league, and certainly a great pickup here for Toronto Roller Derby.
Yeah, I think Toronto fans are going to be well pleased with what they get from Miss Getcha Kicks.
However, it's Killamazoo drawing likely first blood here in the first jam of the second half of the contest. Number 23, that's Mattitude Adjustment, has lead, and she approaches the pack.
And Belfast getting a number done on her in the back of that pack. Lots of white and pink knocking her around. She's unable to get free. Attitude Adjustment with her first round of 5. And it looks like we have a power jam to start for the Killer Crew. A track cut on Belfast sends her to the box. That means Attitude Adjustment is the only one who can score on the track, taking big hits from Scarcasm and Bigly Small, or that's Aims to Kill. But she's through for another 5 points. We'll see if Harrison Ford gives her all 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in the air. That's 10 points so far, Slim.
Attitude Adjustment, excellent skating. They're able to shrug off a hit from Scarcasm, and not anyone can do that. Although she just received another, which sent her reeling, but still on her skates, struck down there just outside turn number 4. Aims to Kill doing the damage there.
That's right. Scarcasm setting her up. Aims to Kill, putting her down. Again, another big hit on the outside. She's working her way through the pack, trying to get past Bigley at the front of Monochrome. Hard hitting action on the track, Slim.
Things taking a physical turn. We thought they would, the Killer Crew maybe having to get physical to maybe hit their way out of trouble.
Aims to Kill being sent to the box for a track cut for the Bruisers. 5 more points in the air by Harrison Ford. 15 points to start off the second half for the Killer Crew. That's exactly what you need to get yourself back into a game in a hurry. 105 to 68, 28 minutes to go.
And perhaps what the Bruisers did not want to see to begin the second half, a momentary lapse in discipline, which put them in penalty trouble. However, both teams now fielding jammers. We got Getcha Kicks and also Heckler.
So the 2 top scorers for their respective teams going up against each other in the second jam of the second half. Nice little hip whip, a uniform whip. Looks like Killer Crew using those belts that we don't always see in roller derby anymore. And Heckler able to use it to good effect on the outside, getting lead jammer. Getcha Kicks has made her way out of the pack as well for the Bruisers, but Heckler is getting ready to score some points. Slim.
Approaching the pack, comes around the outside. Now faces a wall of blue at the front, calls off the jam. Did she pick anything up? 3.
So 2 jams into the second half, 2 successful jams for the Killer Crew. They crawl a little bit closer. It's 105 to 71, 34 points separating these 2 teams. Looks like Bickett Witch is going to be jamming again for the Killer Crew. She is their captain, and that's Helicopter, number 1 for the Bruisers. And Slim, you were talking about penalties and penalty control earlier. Really the only people in any kind of penalty trouble, number 17, Hilda Beast, number 13, Slamador Dali for the Killer Crew. No one else has more than 3.
The Bay Street Bruisers spreading their penalties out amongst the whole team. Very well managed thus far. Speaking of penalties, Brady Cardia calling one right now.
And Bickett Witch showing some intestinal fortitude, getting through the front of that wall. Lots of big hits by Rage on a Cage, but she shrugged them off. She's lead jammer.
Bickett Witch on a power jam now as Helicopter sitting in the box.
A little bit of a lack of discipline on the part of the Bruisers is allowing the Killer Crew to get back into this game. Picket Witch looking back, seeing what's going on, picking up 5 points, Slim.
Picket Witch looking back, actually looking down at her own skates, perhaps in disbelief that she stayed in bounds on that pass. However, she did. That's a grand slam, and she's looking for more. Her teammates conga lining off to the side and then making a burst of speed at the behest of their jammer.
And Picket Witch trying to find her way through. She's got a 2-wall to beat at the front of the pack. Monochrome trying to provide the bridge. Rage in the cage hits Picket Witch, but Picket Witch bounces off her. She's through one more time. Another 5 fingers in the air. 5 more points on the board for the Killer Crew. They draw ever nearer to their opponents, the Bay Street Bruisers. And here she comes again. Helicopter's out of the box now, Slim.
Helicopter absorbing a hit from Picket Witch there, and Picket Witch forced to call off the jam. However, I'd say some pretty tidy work there from the Killer Crew.
Yeah, you know what happened at the end of that jam, Slim, is that hit forced Helicopter to step out of bounds and come back in with a cutting indication by her jammer ref, Bradycardia. We may get an official timeout here. I don't think we will. Note she's going straight to the box. This is going to be another power jam for the Killer Crew.
Helicopter thought she had fairly stepped there. Turns out not to be the case. And in lead on a power jam, here goes Mattitude Adjustment, who has seen some success in this second half.
Yes, pretty much all the Killer Crew jammers have had success in the second half. The Bruisers need to regroup, and they're trying to do so at the front of the pack. That's Tyrannosaurus Rex and Scarcasm trying to hold Mattitude Adjustment, unsuccessful. 5 more points on the board.
Tarantula going to the box, as does Tyrannosaurus Rex. A pair of T's.
And Mattitude Adjustment is back in the pack. Golden Navy at the front, trying to prevent her from picking up those points, but she moves through on the outside. Another 5 points for the Killer Crew. They are at 91 to the 105 the Bruisers started this half with. Bruisers have not put any points on the board, and Mattitude Adjustment is looking to do another scoring pass. Still a minute left in this jam, Slim.
Aims to kill hip to hip with Mattitude Adjustment, who trips over her, but aims to kill, falls to her knees. That allows Mattitude Adjustment to keep on skating. 4 more points.
Helicopter has been released from the pack. Rocket Hips picked her up and managed to hold her for almost half a lap by herself. Helicopter has escaped, but 4 points for Mattitude Adjustment. She's going to go for one more scoring pass before she has to call it off because Helicopter's coming through looking to get points. Unable to do so. Looks like, how many are Harassen counting? 4 more points in the air. Another huge jam for the Killer Crew. They're at 99 points. Only 6 points separate these teams. 23 minutes. In the last 7 minutes, the Killer Crew has gone from being down 52 to being down 6 points, Slim.
Heavy lifting there for the Killer Crew, as you say, Captain Lou. At the end of that jam also, you folks may see it in a replay here, Aims to Kill takes a multiplayer blocking penalty, and that means the Bay Street Bruisers of Toronto will be skating short once again, and the Killer Crew seem to be getting their system working.
And Slim, you and I were having a discussion during halftime talking about how, under the new rule set, that penalties may be more of an issue in a game. They always have been an important part of the game, but when there are no more minors, everything is a penalty. If it's a penalty, the referees are able to free their minds from those impact levels, and it's either off to the box or not. And more penalties are being committed by these skaters. The new rule set may take some adjustment.
And I was discussing this with a referee also, and as you said, Captain Lou, it's either a penalty or it isn't. And sometimes the difference can be where you are on the track. In the middle, you're probably fine to do whatever it is you're doing, but once you're on the apron, as soon as you force that skater out of bounds with that what was previously a minor infraction, all of a sudden, boom, it is a complete penalty and off you go.
That's right. You can no longer cut any of your opponents. Otherwise, you're going straight to the box. And we have seen a fair number of track cuts called. We've got a jam underway, 3-on-2 pack advantage for the Killer Crew. Heckler at the front trying to get free. She's got 1 to beat.
And Belfast, who was previously unstoppable, held effectively there at the back of the pack, although she's free now and gaining on Heckler.
So Heckler looking to her, telling her pack to move forward, get out of the way. Looks like Heckler's going to be able to pick off Tyrannosaurus Rex, who just came out of the box.
She also picks up the point for the penalized Bruisers player, but Belfast pulls ahead.
So Belfast, big cheers from her bench and from the audience, getting 4 fingers put in the air. Heckler also getting through, picking up 4 points as well. 4 points aside, that's a wash. Heckler was hoping, I believe, to put a couple points up on the board. Didn't get it called off in time. Belfast stealing those 4. Heckler able to manage to close the distance, keeping it a 6-point game, but I think she was hoping to make it 4.
A heroic effort from Belfast just to keep things at evens. And the Bay Street Bruisers perhaps scrambling a little to get themselves back into order with not a very good start to the second half for the ladies in blue.
And we got Bickett-Witch against Getcha Kicks. Bickett-Witch throwing a shoulder onto Getcha Kicks, trying to disrupt her, but Getcha just shrugs it off, moves through on the outside, gets lead jammer, and Bickett-Witch has been knocked out on turn number 2 and is trapped in the pack. Hard hit by Scarcasm. Lots of physical activity going on out there, Slim.
Things getting a little chippy. Getcha Kicks firing up the crowd, instructing her teammates to skate on as she puts up a grand slam. Getcha Kicks, highest scorer on the Bruisers as we speak, looking for more, although she runs up against a wall of white.
Yeah, there was Ophelia Plenty she ran into the back of, and Ophelia brought her to a complete stop. Getcha Kicks looking to get out the front. She's got 1 skater left to beat. That's number 4, Kiss My Clover, and she's through. Kiss My Clover going to the box for out of play, and 5 more points for Getcha Kicks. She gets the crowd riled up one more time.
Bickett-Witch being defended there by Monochrome. Monochrome putting the hip into her. Penalties on the play. More skaters going to the sin bin.
And Getcha Kicks through again on the inside. 5 more points in the air. She's having a fantastic jam. This is what the Bruisers needed. They were in a bit of trouble at the beginning of this half. Getcha Kicks looking to get things stabilized. And we have a power jam. We've got a track cut from Bickett-Witch. Getcha Kicks decides to call it off. Bickett-Witch had not even made it to the box yet, so the Bruisers will have a full minute on a power jam. And the Bay Street Bruisers are at 129 points. Getcha Kicks again, adding to her already impressive point total.
Getcha Kicks, savvy play there, calling off the jam immediately upon seeing the penalty to her opposite number, because that will get fresh legs on the problem. Those legs in the personage of number 1 there in the blue helicopter.
And the Bruisers changing things up, going up to the pivot line so that the wall could not start blocking immediately at the back. Helicopter able to get through that wall with relative ease, getting lead jammer, and the Bruisers are going to look to put points on the board. Nice pack control at the front. Bruisers keeping things nice and slow, Slim.
Dead stop in the pack, a white wall. Helicopter squeezing her way through, 1 to beat. She is rubbed out there and forced to return.
That's B Naughty, I believe, who was doing a good job of blocking her. And we also have number 321, that's Rocket Hips, also doing a good job trying to contain Helicopter. Helicopter will not be contained. She picked up 5 and is looking for another scoring
B
pass.
Naughty defending once again. Helicopter sneaks through.
And lots of 5 fingers in the air for the Bruisers over the last 2 jams. Helicopter looking for another scoring pass. The power jam should be just about over as 1 minute has gone by in this jam. Bickett-Witch comes back onto the track. Helicopter trying to get through. Crowd jeering over in the corner over the hits on Helicopter, but no one being sent to the box yet. Gotta assume they're all legit. And Bickett-Witch getting free finally there, Slim.
Helicopter falls. Flying skaters, almost take out Slam Wow, one of our camera people.
So that was Kiss My Clover from the Killa Crew, nearly making friends with the camera. 139 points for the Bay Street Bruisers. Killamazoo, Killa Crew, 103. Lots of momentum shifts in this game, Slim.
The Bay Street Bruisers reestablishing a dominant position. I'm sure the Killer Crew do not wish to let that situation stand, Captain Lou, and they've made a comeback before. They're going to try to do it again. Belfast and Attitude adjustment, both in a mosh pit situation inside the pack. Who will emerge first? Belfast. There she goes. She is lead.
Yeah, once again, attitude adjustment, trying to use Guilty Pleasure's belt to whip herself around. Unsuccessful that time. Coming back through, and who's at scoring points right now?
That is Belfast, and the crowd is with her. Attitude adjustment managing to outlast Rage in a Cage, defending against her. Back to her skates now. However, she has yet to emerge from the pack.
And the Bruisers, who have never trailed in this game, looked like they had lost all momentum in the first 7 minutes of this half, but have gained it all back in the last 8. Belfast looking to pick up points out of the pack was attitude adjustment, but Belfast is in there scoring points one more time.
Penalty to 21-12. Rage in a Cage heads to the box for Toronto, and Belfast calls off the jam after picking up a further 3 points.
And that's going to move the Bay Street Bruisers to, I believe, 100. It says 152 right now. I don't know if those last 3 were put up yet. 152 to 103, a 49-point lead with 16 and a half minutes to go in the first half. We kind of saw this in the first half, Slim, with the Bruisers taking a lead and the Killer Crew clawing their way back, and then penalty trouble for the Killer Crew, really separating these teams. Heckler getting lead jammer there, Slim.
Killer Crew displaying quite a bit more discipline in this half, and that has allowed them to keep stride with the Bruisers. And trying to do some damage here. Heckler instructing her teammates to put on some speed. She's trying to keep that pack out of the reach of Getcha Kicks, or the long stride of Getcha Kicks. Maybe closing that gap a little too quickly, forcing the Heckler to call off the jam.
Yeah, but Heckler did pick up 2 more points on that jam. There was some nice work getting the back of her pack to speed up so that Getcha Kicks could not pick off their points, and getting enough speed to get those last 2 may pay off in the end. You never know how close the game is going to be. Every 2 points could count. And we're going to have Helicopter going up against Bicked Witch again. Number 1 for the Bruisers, number 12 for Killamazoo. Killamazoo in the black and white and a bit of pink. Bruisers in the gold and navy.
Bicked Witch out in front with lead jam position, but also a penalty. And this is a power jam for the Bruisers.
Yeah, that's a high block going to Bicked Witch. Helicopter holding her jaw. Looks like she may be a little sore, but she's going to be able to console herself with the fact that she has 1 minute to be the only one who can score points on the track.
Helicopter struck down, stumbling into Rocket Hips, and struck down once again. She's a small player, folks, as you can see on your screen, and she's taking a lot of punishment, but getting right back up and putting the wheels to the track.
Yeah, not only did she have that high block from Bicked Witch, but then she had her head run into by one of the blockers, and she has lost the jammer panty, which means that she can no longer score points. This is one of the new rules that came into effect, Slim. She's now allowed to skate clockwise on the track to pick up the jammer panty. In the past, you used to have to skate all the way around. You were not allowed to retrieve panties in a clockwise direction.
A nifty move to the inside line, and Helicopter picks up a grand slam, with helmet cover now firmly in place.
And Helicopter pointing to Bicked Witch. Bicked Witch out of the penalty box after serving her 1 minute for the high block. And Bicked Witch vigorously pushing her way at the front of that pack.
Both jammers unwilling to quit. They can't. This jam will go the full 2 minutes.
And that pack is getting rough out there. And we have a track cut on Bicked Witch. Her second penalty of this jam going to the box. It's going to be another power jam.
With how rough it is out there, I think Bicked Witch, a brave soul. She's actually wearing glasses on the track. Robert Blind of the Bruisers, also a glasses-wearing player. I don't know how people do it, Captain Lou.
No, me neither. I wear glasses myself, and if I had to wear specs when I was on the track, I would be terrified of breaking them. We have a timeout, I believe, being called by the Killer Crew again, but a little past the halfway mark of the second half, making sure that they can regroup their team. They're down by 60 points after being within 6 points about 10 minutes ago. So I think they have time to bring this all back together, and I think a timeout is probably not the worst idea in the world.
Penalties, penalty management, and special teams, the story of this bout, as it is so often in modern roller derby. Belfast will begin this next jam as the sole jammer, the Bay Street Bruisers with a power jam.
And we'd like to remind you people who are watching that after this game there'll be a short break, but there will be the premier matchup, a sanctioned game at the WFTDA level. The Toronto Roller Derby CN Power will be taking on the Killamazoo Derby Darling All-Stars. It's going to be a humdinger of a game.
And you will hear the golden voices of our good friends, the Derby Nerd and Monochrome, and we get to watch.
And drink beer. So yes, Belfast will be the only one able to score in this jam, Slim.
Off she goes, a little push and shove there. Her teammates trying to create some space for a no-pack situation. Belfast overcoming that no-pack situation, gets through his lead.
Furious Georgia has been sent to the box on a penalty, slimming that blue and gold wall, but Belfast with a little burnout at the end to avoid running into the back of the Killamazoo wall. Oh, big hit.
A hefty hit there from Hildebeest, who's fairly diminutive. She threw herself at the tower that is Belfast and managed to rock her, still bedeviling her until finally forced to let her go, and Belfast skates on.
And head ref Penny Whistler chopping Benaughty for an out-of-play hit. She's going to the box to sit for a minute and think about what she did.
More penalties on the play. Jammer to jammer. Bickett Witch and Belfast rock each other. However, both skate on.
Yeah, there is no give and no give up in Bickett Witch. She is just out there for blood every time, looking to get her team back into this. Belfast is picking up points. Bickett Witch needs to get free. She's got Tommy Knockers at the front of the pack. Tommy Knockers has to let her go. Bickett Witch is out of the pack. She'll be able to stop the bleeding. Oh, another big hit. That's number 626, Guilty Pleasure. Knocking Belfast to the inside there, Slim.
That was Guilty Pleasure, and it has been determined that that hit contained an elbow at its very heart.
Belfast hitting the ground hard, but as roller derbies do, gets right back up and puts herself back on the bench. We're going to see attitude adjustment, I believe.
Yes, that is attitude adjustment facing Get Ya Kicks. "11 minutes remaining. Get Ya Kicks with a fairly easy saunter across the inside line, and that will put her in lead jam position.
And Dawson aims to kill Rage in the Cage, containing attitude adjustment. She is unable to get free. Get Ya Kicks is already around, looking to score points. She's coming up against Kiss My Clover. Kiss My Clover trying to push her to the outside, unable to contain. Get Ya Kicks, Get Ya Kicks. 5 points. Oh! Big movement by attitude adjustment.
With an audible thud, attitude adjustment hits the track, gets tangled up with Dawson. However, she on the receiving end of that forearm penalty, another power jam for the Bruisers.
And with 10 minutes to go in this game, this is not what the Killer Crew wanted. Killer Crew had played a brilliant first 7 minutes of this half, but penalties have really taken them apart in the last 15 minutes. Get Ya Kicks picking her way through on the outside. One to beat, another 5 fingers in the air. Get Ya Kicks adding more points to the Bruisers total.
As it should be said, however, Captain Lou, that the performance in the first half would not have indicated that the Killer Crew could claw their way back into triple-digit territory, and they have done just that.
Oh, for sure. The Killer Crew were back on their heels at the end of the first half. They really came up guns a-blazing, really put a move on the Bruisers. I think the Bruisers were a little scared, and the Bruisers have responded in kind in the last 15 minutes, putting a ton of points on the board, 96 points to be exact.
A bit of lax discipline at the beginning of the second half was the problem for the Bruisers. They seem to get it locked down now. They often say anybody can lose their cool. It's a matter of who can regain it.
And both these teams have shown they have that ability. Again, the momentum shifting back and forth in this game, definitely on the side of the Bruisers at the moment. 9 minutes to go in this game. 103-point lead for the Bruisers over the Killer Crew, 210 to 107. And looks like number 4, Tyrannosaurus Rex, is going to get a shot with the star once again. She was successful in the first half, Slim.
Indeed she was. She faces another successful jammer. It's Heckler for the Killer Crew.
Jamming away, Heckler trying to use the outside of the track. That's where she seems most comfortable. Cuts to the inside, but not before Tyrannosaurus Rex picks up lead jammer. That's 2 for 2 for Tyrannosaurus Rex.
Inside the pack, more penalties being assessed out of play.
Yeah, that's Bigley Smalls going to the box, Slim.
Heckler skating in the free and open spaces, but it is Tyrannosaurus Rex who's putting points on the board with a 4 there and a quick call-off.
I think Tyrannosaurus Rex will be pretty pleased that she's had 2 jams and picked up 4 points in each one of those jams. So nice clutch player. We'll put her in to pinch hit for the jammers, give some jammers a little bit of a rest, and she's done a good job tonight.
I think you couldn't expect for more from a spare jammer. Excellent work.
And we've got a 3-on-2 pack advantage for the Bruisers. Helicopter going up against...
That is Stinkerbell wearing the star for the first time and having some trouble. Struck down almost immediately. Meanwhile, Helicopter skating in lead jam position, but penalties being taken here.
Yeah, that's Monochrome going to the box for the Bruisers. Looks like Stinkerbell has gotten out of the pack. Also going to the box, I believe that is...
Scarchasm also.
Yeah, Scarchasm wearing the pivot panty.
Scarchasm missing the penalty area and having to take a double skate.
And we were actually on a power jam while I was looking away trying to figure out who Scarchasm was. Somehow, the Bruisers jammer went to the box. So
a reversal of fortunes, perhaps a chance here for the Killer Crew as Stinkerbell aims to put herself through that pack and does.
Yeah, the Bruisers trying to keep things at a fast pace, preventing the Stinkerbell from scoring, but Killer Crew, big hits on Dawson. Dawson hitting the ground hard. Stinkerbell getting another 5 points. She's bringing the Killer Crew up in the score range. I don't know that's in striking range with 6 minutes, but you never know, Slim.
Guilty Pleasure was the one who struck down Dawson there, and that resulted in an immediate trip to the penalty box. That could have been an elbow once again. Seems to be a particular sore spot for that skater.
And out of the box, Helicopter has served her full minute for the Bruisers. She'll be looking to trying to get points on the board. She was lead jammer in this, so this will go for another 15 seconds. She's through Helicopter for another 4 points this time around. And Stinkerbell, Monochrome going to the box. Stinkerbell doing a panty pass, trying to do a panty pass, desperately getting Bickett Witch to acknowledge the fact that she wants to pass a panty.
And Dawson, sweet, sweet revenge for that hit she took earlier, knocking down Stinkerbell before she can pass the helmet cover to Bickett Witch, who was not ready to receive, it would appear.
No, I don't believe she was. She was a little tired. There was a lot of physicality going on in that pack. 227 for the Bruisers, 123 for the Killer Crew. 5.5 minutes to go in this game, and we're going to get Belfast against Mattitude Adjustment.
2 blockers apiece out there. Lots of room to skate for these jammers. Belfast getting through to the inside line. She is lead.
And Belfast showing the success that she's had all season long last year. Having a good game this time. Second half perhaps not as successful as the first, but getting lead jammer, killing some time off the clock. Bruisers pretty happy with the lead they have right now. Killer Crew has done a good job in this game. Penalties being their undoing. Being down 104 points with under 5 minutes to go. Tough row to hoe if you want to come back and win. We'll have to see if number 314, Heckler, can do it. She'll face off against number 76 for the Bruisers. That's Getcha Kicks in a 3-on-3 pack. 1 player from each team in the box, Slim.
Away we go. Getcha Kicks makes an early play to the outside. Bickett Witch puts her out, drags her backwards, but is put out herself. That allows Getcha Kicks back into the action. Meanwhile, Heckler picks up lead.
Yeah, Heckler using an outside-inside move, avoiding the last blocker, getting lead jammer and escaping the pack. The Killer Crew doing a good job holding Getcha Kicks in the pack. Bicked Witch holding her down with guilty pleasure. Getcha Kicks unable to get free in the pack right now, trying to score points. That's Heckler, Slim.
Heckler pushes her way to the front, finally breaks out of the free and open spaces. That is a grand slam. No quit in the Killer Crew.
Killer Crew looking for those small victories that you get in a game where you win jams, one jam at a time. I mean, when you're down by 100 points, you might as well take your victories where you can get it. And this has been a good jam for Heckler.
The first time, I think, in this contest, we've seen Getcha Kicks trailing far behind, although very quickly catching up to the pack, and that is an end to the jam. One apiece in that final pass.
Yeah, I still think Killer Crew will be pretty pleased with the fact that they managed to outscore the Bruisers on that, bringing the score to a 99-point lead for the Bruisers, 228 to 129. I've been impressed with the Killer Crew all night long. I really think a little bit of jammer experience under the new rule set would have prevented some of these penalties and would have kept this game a bit closer. But when it's even strength, Killer Crew doing a fine job competing against the Bruisers. And we've got the jam underway.
It's Tinkerbell and Tyrannosaurus Rex facing each other once again. Tyrannosaurus Rex has lead.
Tyrannosaurus Rex getting huge cheers from the crowd. She's jammed 3 times tonight. Lead jammer all 3 times. Tinkerbell, who has done a yeoman's job in the pack as a blocker, taking the star a second time for her team. Not having a lot of success getting through. Tyrannosaurus Rex bouncing off some Killamazoo skaters, getting through, picking up 5 points this time.
Tyrannosaurus approaches the pack one more time. It is a seething mass of bodies, but she sneaks through with an inside-outside maneuver. Another grand slam for number 4 in the blue.
And Tinkerbell looking perhaps a touch tired, getting knocked around and by that pack of blue and gold. Lots of hard hits.
It looks like everyone has returned to the track, playing full-strength roller derby, Captain Lou.
Well, you know, you start roller derby 5-on-5. Maybe they'll end it 5-on-5. Big hit by Bigley Smalls. And another big hit by, I'm trying to see who that was. Number 45, that was Calamity Kate.
What were we just saying about penalties as Bigley Smalls heads to the chair?
Yeah, there's some vigorousness being shown on the track, including from Tinkerbell, who is going for a track cut. So it looks like Toronto may be able to end this game on a power jam. Tyrannosaurus Rex with about 20 seconds in this jam. She's had an excellent jam, Slim. 5 more points on the board, and she calls it off.
You have to look at some of the unsung heroes of the game, Captain Lou. Someone like Tyrannosaurus Rex, who is a, how do we say, non-rotational jammer. We hesitate to say spare because she's certainly punched above her weight class.
Oh, I'd say she's had an excellent game. Getcha Kicks, you know, picking up the big points, but it's great to have a role player that you can throw in there, go out and pick up 13, 14 points in the jam. That's the kind of jammer that you really need in a clutch. Helicopters is going to be finishing this game for the Bruisers. 30 seconds left in this game. It is a power jam. She's the only one on the track that can score, and she is through for lead jammer. She has complete control when this game ends, Slim.
More penalties as the official clock comes very close to finishing off. Just 10 seconds remain. However, a minute and a half in the jam clock. And Helicopter through for a grand slam.
And this game has moved along at a nice clip, Slim. Very few official timeouts. Helicopter looking for another scoring pass. Just over a minute to go in this jam, so it's been fun. We haven't had to discuss too many other things other than the action that's been on the track, and the action that's been on the track has been pretty exciting.
Absolutely, Captain Lou. There's only so many times we can tell those anecdotes. We haven't had to because, as the roar of the crowd would tell you, the action is there. Helicopter reeling from another blow to the face, it would appear.
And Helicopter watching the pack, seeing that Tinkerbell has been released, decides she's going to call it off. That's going to be a wrap for the Bruisers. First game of 2013, the Bruisers are going to go 1-0. Killer Crew dropping to 0-1. 268 to 129.
The Bruisers able to fend off a determined but perhaps outgunned Killer Crew from Killamazoo.
Sure enough, Bruisers showing last year that they were a team to be reckoned with. Yeah, they're a B team, but man, they can really go out there and play. They're going to be bringing their game to Fort Wayne with CN Power on February 16th. Tough teams down in Fort Wayne as well, so they'll get a real taste of hard hitting from the Fort Wayne girls in Indiana.
Final score 268, the Bruisers. The Killamazoo Killer Crew 129. There go the Bruisers on a victory skate.
And yeah, the victory lap, always an important part of a game. Everybody goes out there, plays hard, lots of hands are slapped, everybody gets a cheer. And Slim and I are always happy to be able to talk to the internet. But the reality is that us talking isn't as important as the TORD TV crew that gets our voices out there. So I'd like to give some thanks to our camera people, Demolition Dawn, the Slamtastic Slam Wow, an uncivil servant making the pictures look so pretty. And we also have Mr. Force making sure everything works in Tropic Thunder, doing what she does oh so well.
There go the Killer Crew. Some congratulations for their victors. The Killer Crew, of course, have another job to do this evening. They need to get changed out of those sweaty togs and turn into the best cheering squad possible for their teammates, the Derby Darlings, who are coming up next in a contest against the official A-travel team of Toronto Roller Derby, the CN Power.
And these two teams just did a little leapfrog switcheroo on the last quarterly rankings in the region, in the North Central region ever from the WFTDA. WFTDA going to a different ranking system for 2013. Killamazoo jumping up to 13, CN Power dropping to 14. So this will be a good test for both of these teams to see how their 2013 schedule will move along. And with that, Slim, I think we are done for bout number one. I'm Captain Lou Albamo.
I'm Lightning Slim. Thank you very much, Derby World, for tuning in. Go absolutely nowhere. Monochrome and the Derby Nerd will be with you soon to announce the action in the main event of the evening.